Before we get to your begging, it's a big day, Paul.
Is it?
We're waiting on the decisions. Our decision.
Narwhal?
It's November 8th.
Oh,
EU.
those decisions. Yeah.
Activision.
Mm-hmm.
Not talking about the other decisions.
Nicely played.
Mm-hmm.
The decisions that really matter to our constituency.
We're not going there. We're waiting for EU. That's the only one that matters to this podcast. We're waiting. Should be today.
Phase 2. Punt. They're going to punt. What do
They're
they call
going to punt on
punting
fourth down?
It's probably a concept that is foreign to them.
So, anyways, I think based on the replies on Twitter, they won't announce anything for another 2 hours. Maybe it seems like like they would drop it at, it's like an after hours thing on the mark. I don't know. 5 p.m. is what I'm trying to say is their time.
So let's speculate. What do you think they're going to do?
I think they're going to say phase 2. Microsoft's going to be like, "Yep, we expected this, and we're just going to."
Phase 2 is we asked for concessions, basically.
I bet there will. I think they call them remedies, I think is there.
Sure.
A little NyQuil, a little Robitussin.
I have said this many times. The obvious concession should be on the table and put an end to this drama.
Speaking of drama, my daughter asked last night, she said, "When is math done?" Because she's starting to get into division with remainders, which, whatever, that's fourth grade math. And then they're also doing fractional, like multiplication of fraction. And she's like, "Daddy, this is getting tricky." I was like, "When is it done?" I'm like, this is
the
done.
difference between you and I as a parent. And what I mean by that is you're probably a good parent and I'm probably not a great parent. Because given this question, I would have looked at my wife and said, "Is she adopted, this one?"
Well, my first thought was, how do you feel about shoveling coal? Because, I mean,
even shoveling coal requires a little bit of math. You know?
Yeah, it does. You got to get the TNT right?
Yeah.
We're gonna hear from coal miners. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You got to listen to something, when you're shoveling the coal.
Well, usually the canary. That's done.
Oof.
Anyways, what USB cables?
Yeah. So, my wife walked in my office the other day, holding up 2 wall clocks, which both used to hung in our home in Dedham and have never hung on a wall here for some reason. They're both really nice clocks. In fact, one of them I really like. I saw it and I was like, "Why are we using that thing? It's nice." Anyway, her question was, "Do you mind if I get rid of these?" Mm-hmm. And I'm a big decluttering fan, as you know.
Sure.
I go on these, things every once in a while. And clearly in the wake of the dog, she has decided it's time to start getting this house ready to get rid of this thing. So anyway, she started decluttering. Mm-hmm. So I look around my office and probably like yours, it's just a mess of PCs and cables and things that just that sit there and never get used. And I don't know how to get rid of this stuff. I don't know what to do with this. So anyway, you got to start somewhere. So I started going through one of the first steps is matching up computers with power supplies, right? This is hard because a lot of the power supplies are either identical or very similar. Anyway, I don't want to bore anyone with all this, but one of the things that came out of it, let's see if I can, it would be stupid to pick this all up together, but I'll be stupid anyway, because is this frickin' mess. And what this is a bunch of USB-C cables. Most of them actually are USB-C to USB-C, which I appreciate. A couple of them are USB-C to USB-A. But if you're following the drama in USB-C or USB/Thunderbolt today, you know that there are probably, 4 main data speeds, soon to be 5, right? 5 megabits per second, 10, 20, and 40, soon to be 80. And if I understand the new naming scheme, that means the next version of USB will not be called USB 4 version 2 or USB 5. It will be called USB 80, right? Because data speed. Okay. Here's the thing, Brad. What does this thing do? What is this? What does this one do? This one's really nice looking. It's got these nice kind of silver tips, probably kind of high speed. Most of these things, this one's got a nice threaded, this is a nice one. But you know what? This one is one of the rare ones that actually says something on it. And what it says doesn't mean anything, so I won't even bother with that. But like one of these has only one of these, I think. I think there's only one, and of the is this one here? Of the many, yeah, no. Some of them just have symbols on them, which don't help in the slightest, like whatever that frick that's supposed to be. Here's the thing, Brett. I don't want old cables anymore, right? The easiest thing I could do would be to throw all of these things out. But the truth is, some of these are probably decent and probably are reasonably high speed. I don't know enough about USB cables to know. Like if I put let's say this was like a 10 megabit capable cable or something, if that's a thing, plugged it into a Thunderbolt dock or plugged it into a high speed USB-C dock, a recent USB-C dock, would this limit the speed, the performance? Is this a problem? In fact, I mentioned the other day at great length, about this problem I'm having with USB-C hubs and laptops and whatever. And I was just writing this up as we started the show. And as you do, when you troubleshoot, you try to eliminate suspects, There are a couple of things I can't eliminate 100%. I've had this problem across multiple browsers, for example, but they're all Chromium-based browsers. Could that be it? Maybe. Could it be 12th gen Intel chipsets? Actually, yeah, maybe. Could it be USB cables? Probably not, because a couple of different setups. But how do you know? How do you know? How do I?
Don't.
Is there a thing I can plug this into, and it's going to say 5 or something, or 10? Is there a thing? Because I would buy that thing.
I'm sure there is a thing, but it's probably not cost effective.
Where did these things go to? Some of these are older, like phone chargers, right? This is clearly like a pixel part or something, right? So this thing's got to be 5 megabits per second at most. It's, some little piece of crap. Like this is not going to power a laptop or something. So, like, how do you fix this?
You swapped to HDMI cables?
By the way, that's on my list of things to check. No, it really is, because one of the things I haven't swapped out yet, one of the things I have not done, I just wrote this. In fact, what I just wrote was, because I'm going through all the things, it's also not related to an external display, ... probably.
Yeah.
And I say that because the truth is I have not connected an external display, not over USB-C, right? Because this thing has the hub. It's like the one cable. Like I need to try that. I need to go grab my external display out of my son's room where it's been in a place I can't see it unless it doesn't annoy me every day. And now I need it, and plug in an HDMI cable and see if that does the trick. Troubleshooting is the worst. Anyway, this thing though, this is like a side issue. I mean, but seriously, this feels like a really nice cable. I bet it's not. I bet it was a really nice cable 3 years ago or something, you know? I have no way of knowing. Nothing.
There's nothing to do. There's.
Man, I need better answers than this.
I got nothing. I mean, you could try to plug it in and then plug in an external hard drive and then try to copy files and see where they max out at, and that's probably your best bet. But
interesting. Yeah, jeez. Yeah, but then there's so many variables.
But I mean, you start with that, and then you'll end up running Ethernet cables, and we don't want to go down that route, Paul. That'll be...
Okay.
Good luck with that.
I mentioned this to you privately, but one of the things I've been trying to do is one of the variables, by the way, is AMD chipsets, right? I think I said to you I was mistaken on this. Right? Let me just make sure. Yeah. Was I? I'm not 100% sure anymore. I feel like I must have docked the Qualcomm laptop while I was in Mexico. I can't be sure. Anyway.
Confidence is key here.
Yeah, but the AMD thing is, well, no, but I'm on one of the paths. One of the things I'm trying not to just railroad myself into is it might be Intel.
Yeah.
It might have something to do with this Intel 12th gen stuff, or their whatever chipsets. So the machine I'm using right now is an AMD Ryzen. I tried yesterday to connect an AMD Ryzen laptop to this machine, got the most crazy loud alarm sound. Text, like a BIOS type text screen that said, something, I'm forgetting the exact language, unauthorized Ethernet connection. Please remove the Ethernet before, and then reboot the computer. Like, wouldn't even boot off of the USB based. Dude, this stuff, there's no reason. Why do people use computers? It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's funny. Somebody's going to be like, well, chipsets don't really matter anymore. But yeah, they actually do, because we ran into this last week, actually, where we have a product called Window Blinds. We started to ship beta 2 of it. And the same day, which was a Tuesday of last week, AMD pushed an update for their chipset driver that broke, we believe, the app. Like, so we tested it, like we hit the go button, and then that morning AMD drops it and it breaks it, so we had to pull it back out of the ecosystem. Now we've got a patch, and it's probably going to go out today, but it was like, those drivers are still on both sides, can wreak some havoc.
It's crazy.
It really is.
I can't look, use computers. Here's one of the problems. I think we accept a certain level of terribleness in the devices we use every day. I just think we put up with stuff. We sort of toss it off to like, like whatever. This morning, this laptop, which otherwise has been incredibly reliable and is the reason I docked it. Sorry. Can I just, the other issue I've been having, I might have mentioned this, is this display has been going to sleep every 60 seconds. And I have no idea why. I mentioned that. So that hasn't happened with this laptop. Okay, here we go. AMD, by the way, just saying. Power management working fine. Come in the room, it's off. Hit a button, comes right up. Yep, exactly what you want. And I woke up this morning, hit the thing, came right up, no problem. Desktop, signed in. Connection looks fine. Went to some website, not available. Now, okay, maybe the site's down. Tried another site. That site's not down. I'm like, what's going on? Turn the Wi-Fi on and off. I have no idea what's going on. Troubleshoot, couldn't find a problem. Rebooted the computer. Computer comes back up, and instead of the Wi-Fi symbol down in the tray there's the Ethernet symbol, because I do have Ethernet connected. It wasn't showing up earlier.
Oh, fantastic.
Or it was, I know. I've never experienced that. Like what? Why does it have to be a new adventure every day? I just want stuff to work. Am I unreasonable?
I don't know. Next time my mom calls and says her computer doesn't work, I'm giving her your number.
Yeah, please. Who is this again?
He knows how to do it.